What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 13, episode 13. Excuse me. This episode really wasn't a lot to it. You know, they went on their second trip. We're sort of winding down. The season's almost over. So let's get into it. We see Danielle with her mom. She tells us how her and her mom, back in high school, they had those growing pains that a lot of teenage daughters have with their mom, but that her and her mother are in a better space now. She's like her best friend. She tells her everything. So, excuse me, y'all. We see her talking to her mom and telling her mom what happened in Ireland and how, Rachel just wouldn't let the whole, I called her a rat thing go, and they wanted me to apologize, but I wouldn't apologize. And then they brought up the situation with my brother, and it was just very hurtful, and how Margaret was just like, boom, 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 boom. Now, let me say this. Unless it was some editing, because we do know that editing does happen, I don't feel like, first of all, I don't feel like they beat you. I don't feel like Rachel was the one that kept bringing up the rat thing. I mean, well, no, I take that back. Rachel did bring it up, but she would like throw little comments out there. But neither here nor there. At the end of the day, I'm still on Rachel's side in this because Danielle, and if I'm wrong, put it in the comments, y'all. But the way I remember, Rachel was very clear when you were telling her, oh, well, Teresa told me this and Jennifer told me that, and watch out for Marge. And I very clearly remember Rachel saying, well, I want to get to know them for myself, and you can't believe everything that people are telling you, and they shouldn't have been telling you that. So you're mad because she went back and told them what was said, which, child, whatever. But stop rewriting the story and making it seem like it was a group conversation when it wasn't. You were telling Rachel, and Rachel was like, girl, I want no parts of this. That's how I remember it. Now, if it's different, put it in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. I remember it wrong. Then we saw Rachel and her husband go to an attorney to talk about adopting his oldest son, who she's basically raised. Now, what we know is that the mother has never been a consistent part of the son's life. I believe she's been in and out of jail. She's got some substance abuse issues, if I remember correctly. And ultimately, Rachel basically has been his mom. So we find out that because the mother has never officially signed over her parental rights, they have to get permission now. They have to get permission for the parental rights or whatever. And of course, she was upset by that because she was like, listen, this woman has never been a part of this boy's life. I have been his mother, and now I got to go ask for permission. Well, that's kind of how that works. And I get it. I understand, but baby, that's how it works. Like, she's his mother. She has a right to object or whatever. Maybe she's finally getting herself together. Maybe she's finally clean or whatever her challenges were. And she wants a relationship with her son, Now, on the after show on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked her, why did it take you so long? Was this just a storyline? And she said no. She said over the years, we were basically told that this would be hard. It would be a lot. It would be time consuming. It would be a lot of money. But I still don't feel like she answered the question about why they decided to do it now. I'm not accusing them of creating a storyline because this really wasn't a major part of her story. But I like Rachel, so I'm gonna let that slide for now, Rachel. I'm gonna let it slide. So then we see Jennifer and Bill. Let me say, I have a lot. Okay, I'm gonna vent for a minute on this one. We see Jennifer getting things ready for Teresa's bridal shower that they're having. They're having this bridal shower for Teresa, and she has been a bridesmaid for all of 0.5 seconds, but she is in charge of the bridal shower. Okay, whatever, girl. So we see her talking to her husband. Now, we see her daughter there, and her daughter says something about, you need to get lingerie for daddy. Something about lingerie. And she was like, thank you, Margaret. Now my daughter is worried about me wearing lingerie for my husband on top of wanting to be a love doctor or whatever. Let me say this. And then she proceeds to have a whole conversation with Bill about going to therapy and staying in therapy and what the therapist said versus what the therapist didn't say and what they're doing and where they are as a couple in front of the same daughter that you're so worried about Margaret exposing this huge secret to. Now, let me say this. Margaret was wrong. I get it. And the way it affected your children, I get it. But at the end of the day, Kids pick up on energy, and kids pick up on all of the things that they're seeing, verbal and nonverbal communication. Your daughter ain't feeling some kind of way about your marriage just because she found out about that affair. I'm not saying that didn't hurt her, and especially the way she found out. But if y'all were in a good place and everything was good at home and y'all were laughing and joking and mommy and daddy were happy and flirty and holding hands and googly eyes, she wouldn't even be tripping at this point. The fact is, y'all are still not in a good space, and she sees it. It ain't just because of the secret that was exposed, which, again, I'm not excusing it. Don't nobody come for me. Well, Margaret was... that was last season. I ain't arguing about that. But it just doesn't change the fact that, child, it is what it is, okay? But I just think it's more to it. It ain't, you can't put all of that on Margaret exposing your damn secret about your husband having an affair on you 5 years ago, okay? Because you chose to stay. Fast forward, okay. So then we have Teresa and all 4 of her girls. Finally, she said, it's hard to get them all in the same place. Finally in the same place, trying on their bridesmaids dresses. Listen, one thing I can say a lot of things about Teresa. But one thing I can't say, Teresa made some gorgeous kids, okay? Her and Joe, they made some gorgeous kids. Those girls are gorgeous. They are gorgeous. And I hope they don't go out here and end up getting a lot of plastic surgery and all of that stuff, because they are gorgeous. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. Joe called, her husband Joe, ex-husband, Joe called, and, they had a moment. She said, I really, she told him, she said, I really hope that one day you're able to get back in the country and you can be with your kids on a day-to-day basis. Like, I mean, that's my wish for you. And he said, I'm happy for you too. I'm glad you were able to find happiness. And, listen, it was a moment. And Teresa said it just goes to show how far they've come, as a family, in their relationship and their co-parenting situation. So, kudos to them. Over at the Gorga house, Melissa and Joe, their daughter, she got this great letter from school saying she's a scholar and a great student and blah, blah, blah. And they gave her a brand new Porsche. She got her driver's license and now she's driving, the Porsche SUV. Listen, if you got it, okay? I'm one of those people that feels like maybe a used Porsche, maybe for her first car. But listen, if you got it like that and you got good enough insurance, child, buy your baby the car. And there was a moment, and, everybody was happy. And Joe said, listen, what I've learned with everything going on with me and Teresa is that life is short. You only live once, yada, yada, yada. Him and Melissa had a conversation about what happened in Ireland. And she told him about the painting on the wall and how, at that moment, she was just like, I'm just done fighting. I don't want to fight with your sister at this point. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to keep things great so that the kids get to go to the wedding and you get to go to the wedding. But I am just done. I'm done fighting with her. I'm done trying to make this relationship work. Like, I am just over it. Now, honestly, I felt like they had left Ireland in a better space. Like, I know they had to fight about the daughter and everything, but I thought after that moment at the farm, I really thought they were in a better space. Not friends by any stretch. But they had that moment. But I guess not, child. So then we see Margaret out with her best friend and her mom and the best friend's mom. And, of course, we found out that Lexi, I believe it is, she's going through a divorce. Remember, she's living in Margaret's guest house. And it was just them talking about their relationship and how she was there for Margaret and Margaret needed her. So now she's going to be there for her and help her go through what she needs to go through. And the mom is there to help with the child and, all that good stuff. It was great, okay? It was cool. It was, again, it was a wind down episode. This was a wind down episode. Next we see, what we see next? Oh, I was out of order. Melissa and the car, that was next. Okay, my bad. I'm out of order, child. So then we see Frank, child. Frank and Dolores meet up. Y'all, I am so sick of these grown, overgrown, pampered ass, spoiled ass men. He doesn't understand why Dolores can't be his best friend, beck and call, whatever, and they were talking about their son got his dream job, and they're having this celebration for him. And Dolores was like, "Well, I'm bringing my man." And Frank was like, "No, he can't come. This is a family thing. He's not family. This is us. This is me, you, and the kids." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm bringing him because Paulie's my man, and he's a part of my family." And she was like, "Your girl can come," and she was like, "Well, here go Frank. Well, she doesn't want to come. No, you don't want her there because you like your cake and eat it too, and you're so upset that Paulie doesn't want to build this bro relationship with you like Dolores' last boyfriend did, where basically you spent more time with him than Dolores did." And Dolores is like, "No, please understand. I am putting these boundaries in place for what I want for my relationship. This is what he needs from me, and I'm willing to give it because that's my man, and I love him. And you will get over it, and you will be all right." Child, Frank cried and everything. He pulled out all the stops, child. She told him, "Go in the bathroom and clean your face." I said, "I know that's right, Dolores. Don't you fall into that bull hockey." She said, "Go clean your face." Like, we are not getting ready to sit here and do this. We are not getting ready to play this game. Go clean your face, sir. But ultimately, I think she got him to understand, listen, Paulie's going to be around. That's my man. And he said, "Well, when I want to, if I want to call you, I don't feel like I can call you." She was like, "You can call me. If there's something that happens, if you're thinking about, you can call me. There's no problem with that. There's no problem in you calling me, but you just have to understand that there are boundaries. Like, there's just certain things, like when we go down to the shore, no, I'm not staying at your house anymore. I will find other accommodations, like the things we used to do, we just can't do because we're in a different space." I loved it because I think Dolores handled him respectfully but sternly and clear. She set very clear boundaries, and I loved it. So we get to the bridal shower that allegedly was a surprise, but there's no part of me that believes that this bridal shower was a surprise. We've got Teresa in the car with her kids, cheesing it up. She's recording. Now, Gia got there early, and according to Gia, they were just having lunch with the girls. But Teresa has on this whole, like, mock wedding dress type ensemble. It is clearly not something that you would normally wear to go to lunch in. And even if it was supposed to be just a lunch with her daughters to celebrate the wedding, I still don't feel like she would have wore that outfit. And then when they were 5 minutes away, she was like, "Call your sister, let her know we're 5 minutes out." Who does that? I mean, maybe that's your normal thing, but But the most exciting thing that happened on this whole episode, because honestly it really wasn't that deep, is this moment in the car with the girls when Louis calls, because Louis wants to have like a rehearsal dinner sort of situation where he's inviting all the family and, the wedding or whatever, the wedding party, whatever. And he calls Teresa. He doesn't realize Teresa is filming. And you can see it on Teresa's face. The minute he calls, you can see on her face, oh shit. Because he starts talking about this dinner, right? And who he's inviting. So he says, well, we're not inviting Melissa and Joe. We're not inviting them. And Teresa's like, "Honey, we're filming." He goes, oh shit. Oh, okay. Which tells me that this whole, I love my brother, I want a relationship with my brother, I don't understand why Teresa and Joe are feeling this way. Why do they act this way? Why do they think we don't want them around? All of that is bullshit. You got caught on camera. Clearly him saying we are not inviting them to this event for our wedding. Everybody, he went through people we're going to invite Margaret, and we're going to invite Jennifer, and we're going to invite, Margaret's not even in the wedding. But you were going to invite Margaret and her husband, but you're not going to invite Melissa and Joe. But you want to build this friendship. You want this relationship. You're trying to make things work with your brother. I said, mm-hmm. And them shady ass producers, they ain't played it once, but they played it twice, honey. They played it, they went to commercial break, came back and played it again. I said, I know that's right. And again, the look on Teresa's face gave it away because her face said, oh shit. And even the girls were sitting in the car like, And the daughter, not Gia, but the other one, the next to the oldest, was like, why do we have to invite them? I said, see? Y'all have clearly been having, like, it's bad. It's bad. That situation is just bad. And it's bad. So we get to the bridal shower. Everybody's there. And, you know, surprise. And she's like, oh my God. It looked like a really nice event. It did. It looked like a really nice event. We had Danielle playing nice with Margaret and Rachel, even though she still feels some kind of way. Teresa gets up and gives this whole speech and goes around the room and acknowledges everybody and talks about how a big part of her life everybody is, except for Melissa, which was very intentional. I feel. Um, Child, that was pretty much it. It was, like I said, this just wasn't a lot. That was really the biggest thing of this episode for me. Was that, and then the scene with Jennifer and her husband, child, because Bill said he don't think they need to stay in therapy. And remember, Bill didn't want to go to therapy to begin with. He did it to pacify her, but he was like, "Yeah, no, I think we're good. I think we got this. Take it out." I'm just saying. Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.